There was this girl.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Toddcast podcast. I'm your host, Todd Baysinger.
Age of 12
I'm Ryan Graham.
To 21, she was held captive.
And that's it, apparently.
That's it. Nobody else wants to be on the podcast.
So, how'd the show go tonight, guys?
Pretty shitty.
She would buy all
You say that?
Let me have that mic.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's a little quieter.
Well, at least she gave it away. Right, yeah, true.
Sells it.
I mean, for me, it
And
went
I was
horribly.
like, I'm from Iowa.
I wasn't supposed to be here, and I had nothing prepared like normal.
With the fucking washing machine, bro, because that's what I did.
Oh, dude, I hear it.
You guys don't know how to use an iron? I'll show you how to use a fucking
What
iron.
was the kid do? Fucking in the winter, you know, shit was dry.
Chris, how do you think the show went tonight?
Yeah, it would freeze.
I was
You had to
happy
fucking
because
take
I
it down
tried
in a
3
frozen
new
tire.
bits, and I only expected one of them to work and 2 of them didn't.
Dude, they were really good. Whoa, shit.
Gotta move this one far in the back.
Is it too bright?
Yeah.
Alright.
Would there be called
Good luck, guys.
Would there be
You're
3
awesome.
All right,
bright?
man.
Hey, Mike.
I just wasn't.
You in the wrong spot?
Jeez.
You in the wrong spot?
No. I was just laughing at your 3 right.
We should bring one more chair up here because we have enough for all of us to be up here. I don't think it would be
The
too
crosstalk will be awful.
Sure.
Yeah, no. 3 is about what we want.
Okay.
At the time.
I'll just be the producer.
Okay.
I just want to point out that on last week's podcast, I told you that the Philadelphia Eagles would win the game outright. If you did not take the betting line of 185, that's your fault, not mine. I gave you the information.
Yeah, we gotta get a Chris guaranteed bet line
Like,
segment, yeah.
Like Carl Stone Cold Lock of the Week.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Lock of the Week of the century.
I'm taking the Colts plus 7 points.
I don't even know what that means.
Me neither.
I do.
Fucking explain it.
I'm staring at the nail up in the wall.
So if it's the Colts plus 7, that means they're getting 7 points. So essentially, if the Patriots are playing the Colts and everyone thinks the Patriots are going to win, they'll do like the Patriots minus 4, meaning whatever they have at the end of the game minus 4 is like what you're betting against, basically.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I'm still kind of confused, but that's okay.
I don't know. I
It's
didn't.
to make it so there's 2 sides to the bet.
Yeah,
Because if you're
yeah.
saying who's going to win, the Patriots or the Browns, everyone's
too
going to
easy.
say the Patriots.
Yeah.
So they give the Browns points. They'll say we'll give the Browns 10 points. Well, then it becomes a little bit more even because they could just lose by a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
There is something called the money line where you can just pick the winner outright,
Okay.
but the odds on that, it was plus 185 for the Eagles, which means you put up $100, you get your $100 back plus $185.
Oh wow.
Whereas the Patriots, I believe, were minus 155, so you'd have to put up $155 to win another 100.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I was just like, the fuck is going on here?
Shit.
I can't help it, I'm a degenerate, okay?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, the cold last
I'm a
week made
degenerate.
no sense.
No, sorry. No, well, you're explaining because I never knew that. Like, I never understood like what. So they're like when somebody says, "Oh, plus 7," they're gonna win by 7, or they're gonna,
Yeah, okay, I got you.
That I never understood that, so that's good to know. I don't know. I'm not a fan of either teams. I'm a Cowboys fan, so like,
Boo.
right.
Well, I'm a Seahawks fan.
But
so.
I hate the Patriots more than I hate the Eagles, and I thought it was a great game.
I'm busy looking at the producers of this show just giggling like little girls behind the camera.
Though I have to say my favorite thing about the Super Bowl last night.
We're putting awful Snapchat filters on.
Oh God. My girlfriend's uncle, though, he was the greatest thing last night because like all these commercials would come on. He's like, "Oh man, these goddamn things don't even understand what they're talking about." And I'm like, "Yeah, you just watch at the end of the game. These fuckers are gonna be like, oh yeah, we almost had it. I'm like, of course they didn't know they had it. And that was just my favorite thing, just seeing like, ooh, new commercial. What is he gonna say? What is he gonna say? The fuck is going on?
Anybody in here?
What's happening?
We found it. So they have like filters, basically. Yeah, look at it on your phone. And
So it's going. The filters are going on live.
yeah.
You're not like putting a dick in anyone's bathroom.
No, they're all family friendly. I know that.
Oh. You know that? Like you sent a message to them like,
Dear Mark Zuckerberg, I am very
you got any
outraged
really
about-
X-rated?
What the fuck are you guys doing? All I see is just.
It's glorious.
It's just Robert.
Robert is leaning back and it's just going like.
When he put it up initially, Robert was just like looking off into the distance.
Is there anybody? Oh, that makes so much sense.
That's great. That made me
Fuck you guys, that is amazing.
We gotta stop.
All right.
We're gonna fuck up our very important broadcast that
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean,
several people are watching right now.
it was a good game.
No,
Was
not
it 7
By
or?
several, I mean 0.
0.
Yes.
Yay.
Did you guys think the game was that the Eagles were fucked there for a second after the
I thought for
Patriots?
sure Tom Brady was going to drive down the field, score a touchdown, and win the game,
Yeah,
or tie the game at least.
I mean,
That
wasn't
was-
it?
It was
the whole.
set up perfectly. He's done it a
Yeah.
billion times. I thought for sure he was going to do it again.
Oh, does Belichick ever smile?
No.
No, but I have it on good authority that the hoodie that he wears,
Dude, that hoodie he was wearing last night was fucking weird.
you totally stepped on my joke. The hoodie that he wears is woven from Satan's pubic hair. It's true. There used to be an article on the interwebs about it, but they deleted it.
Did you see? Sorry, I'm stepping on your joke.
No, did I see what?
Did you see how he was
What was
dressed
that?
No.
last night? So he's wearing a hoodie where the sleeves are cut off, but they're not cut off at the sleeve. They're cut off like about 3 or 4 inches after the sleeve starts.
Yeah, no.
So he has this weird like shoulder pad
Yeah,
thing.
he's
look
done that
going on.
several times.
Yeah, it's the first time I noticed
It's
it.
a
It was very
choice.
bizarre.
He's the man of the 80s.
I thought he was going down like after the game was over. You just see him like going like this. I'm like, oh shit, is he like fainting or something? He was just picking up a piece of paper.
You have finally defeated me. I must rest.
So is Tom Brady done now?
No.
No, he'll be back.
Well, everybody was speculating that he was going to retire this year. I know, like, oh, is he going to
No.
do it? No.
Why would he retire?
He's 40 years old.
Yeah,
41.
he's really old.
As long
Okay.
as he can sustain himself off
I-
of the life
I-
force of the virgins that he consumes.
I need to say this because otherwise I'm going to forget about it. But all night I've seen Ryan just grabbing beer bottles and then grabbing the next one. It's just like
There's stuff left in him, man.
Stuff left in them?
I don't know what it is. I'm just tossing it back. I have a problem.
he's like, I just drank my spit.
No, I know which ones I've spit in and which ones I haven't. Hey, Mom, thanks for watching.
Oh,
Hi,
your
Ryan's mom.
Your mom's watching?
Don't say
Hello,
anything.
mother.
Hello, father.
Don't you whip your dick out right now, Chris Coffman.
We get banned so quick. That's why we need to get on Chatterbait and do our thing on Chatterbait.
Hey, Mom.
Hello,
Ryan, sit right here,
mother.
buddy.
Yeah.
Come on, we got enough room. Four's not a crowd, and I don't feel like we're talking over each other.
No, not too bad.
So, Chris, I was telling you about something recently, just a little bit ago, earlier tonight.
Do you not remember?
I do remember.
Okay.
What is your guys' favorite like folklore or like
Animorphs.
weird happening?
I have those books.
I love Animorphs.
Oh man. Of recently,
If you fucking say Slender Man, I'm gonna slap you.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
okay, never mind then. I've heard about it in like watching oh shit, what is that? Like supernatural type shit like that. That was kind of cool. That one, the Wendigo.
Wendigos are cool.
Wendigos are cool. I think that's what I was thinking, but all that popped in my head was Slender Man.
Do you know what a Wendigo is?
I do.
Cool. Then we won't explain.
I don't.
Robert
But
doesn't know what football.
Well, anybody who's watching this
Yeah.
actually has the internet, so they can easily look up what a Wendigo is.
Not necessarily.
yeah.
We are putting this out on VHS.
Oh, nice.
So a Wendigo. A Wendigo is a creature that is created when a human being partakes in cannibalism, and they're taken over by they're essentially taken over by demonic spirits when they commit that atrocity, and that turns them into essentially a creature. A lot of times it's depicted as having antlers, deer antlers specifically. It has kind of a wolfish body. The skin is kind of peeling off. It's very tall, very lanky. So it's depicted almost like a mixture between a lycanthrope and like a deer skull. But then also a lot of times it'll have hooves and things like that as well. But it's a very prominent figure in Native American as well as Canadian folklore. So,
Thanks to Sam and Dean Winchester,
Quick
it's been
takes.
destroyed.
What are your takes on cannibalism? Is it good or bad?
You know my stance on cannibalism.
what's the over-under on cannibalism?
I'll take cannibalism and the points. Lock it.
I'm for it, I guess.
I'm totally for it. We could solve starvation
Aren't
in
we-
one swoop.
Aren't we biologically programmed to not eat each other though? Like, doesn't it cause a lot of problems? I know it does.
Not if you Soylent Green it.
Well,
It does in cows. There's mad cow disease.
yeah,
because
no,
cows eat other cows.
Kuru, the disease that humans are most likely to get from cannibalism is Kuru, which causes you to go insane.
Mm-hmm.
But after eating several people, I can tell you that I don't have Kuru.
I have yet to experience the side effect. You're at like a council of scientists. I can tell you that after several experiments, I have yet to experience any side
No
effects.
Kuru. So,
Oh, yeah.
It will make you go insane if you do it.
well, you have to get, like I said, 7, no, 150, maybe. I don't know. I'm not there yet, man. Wait, be
You
patient.
don't know yet. It's
Have you guys
too early
seen
to tell.
Cannibal the musical?
No.
No.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone movie.
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah.
It is awesome.
I have to watch this.
It's so good. They're a bunch
Kevin
of
Smith in it.
fuck off. No, it's by the guys who do South Park, and they're going to.
Hoping to get answer your question. You go. I'm
Oh,
talking to
sorry,
Levi.
no, you go home. Go.
Fucking do what you're doing.
Answer the fucking question. I'm
What is
sorry.
your favorite piece of folklore, Chris?
Angels and demons.
Ooh.
Little yin and yang there.
Yeah, I used to often use the phrase, demons are just angels without wings.
Well, demons are fallen angels.
Well, being a demonologist,
So you're a cannibalist, a demonologist, as well as you have wicked.
yeah, can you
Robert.
be one without the other? I mean,
Fair.
there are demons that are spawned in hell,
Yeah,
The country club
and no, they were never.
Use that for water.
They're demons.
that's true.
Now,
Well, they-
well, I mean, if you really
they're
want to get
bottles,
specific, do you know what the
I'm not gonna pay for a
Elohim
bottle of
is?
water.
No.
That's
Like,
what.
in
That's the
in life,
belief
they have
that
bottles.
angels once came
Walk
down to
around
Earth and fucked a bunch of humans.
Don't touch it.
And had half angels,
Oh, yeah.
and they're known as Elohim.
I didn't know that that's what they were known as.
I don't
but
know
yeah,
if
I
I'm
know
pronouncing
that.
it right, but it's mostly used in the Jewish faith.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know that story.
I wrote a really long story about angels and demons, which took like a year of research, and I know way more about the shit than I need to.
Is your name Dan Brown?
No.
Okay.
So your favorite is your favorite
All right,
the
quick
Wendigo?
take. What's your guys' take on Dan Brown?
Dan Brown?
Over or under on Dan Brown?
Over under on Dan Brown?
Under.
5.
No, I mean like right now, like
I have no idea who that is. I was just trying to.
I was just
Angels
recently
and
watching
Demons.
Okay, yeah. That
watching that. No,
And my mom just clicked off. Oh,
oh,
she's back.
Lord.
There she
I
is.
don't know. I honestly don't know. I just saw someone winning goes the other day. That's why I said my
There
head.
we go.
My take on Dan Brown is that he's a pompous ass.
I agree.
I didn't know who he was until about 2
He-
seconds ago, so I can't.
It was an interesting phenomenon where everybody just took him.
Really seriously?
Yeah, when the Da Vinci Code was released, everybody thought that everything that he was writing about was true and was actually like based off of research that he had done, even though it specifically says in the footnotes of the book that all of it is fictional and made up. But everybody thought that, oh, Jesus had an affair with people and things, and people took it so seriously.
Well, there are people who believe that if the Mary Magdalene married to Jesus, had Saint Sarah. That's like people believe that.
Yes,
Long
yeah.
before Dan Brown ever wrote that book.
Yes, that just kind of brought it into the mainstream media.
Yeah, and they all
People were like, oh,
it must be
really?
real.
Yeah, it was this very... And it then kind of fizzled out a few years after the fact. But yeah, initially it was just... It was ridiculous how many people were like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, no, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely. I love, like, Pixies. Or, the band definitely, but, like, the actual, like, folklore behind
So-
Pixies.
Like,
Yeah, they're like
are you
body
just...
snatchers, right? Like consciousness, like they go in, take the body to like the pixie land. Like are you talking about like the Irish stuff?
Sometimes. That's more elves than pixies. Elves would,
What about sprites?
What about lobsters?
I like lobsters. But no, pixies, so the story of Rumpelstiltskin is actually about a pixie. It's pixie iconography. And what pixies would do was, going back to the cannibalism thing, was they would steal children and devour them, essentially. And they were very predominantly featured in Germanic folklore as being tricksters, as well as just really demonic and evil creatures that would torment you in the way that like a hobgoblin or like any sort of kind of poltergeisty creature would do.
Oh, nice.
So
After hearing all of that, I'm 90% sure that I'm part pixie.
it's very possible. There's a pixie in all of us,
It is a pixie.
no matter how small.
It's so small. Can't even see it. Sorry, I'm so fucking tired.
What's your favorite book, Chris? You're a well-read man.
It's tough. I would say Thus Spoke Zarathustra.
Okay, interesting.
I'm a huge Nietzsche guy, so
Nice.
if I had to pick a non-philosophy book, pretty much anything Hunter S. wrote.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything specific? Do you have a
I
specific
loved them
favorite?
all. Confessions of a Political Junkie.
Okay.
Better than Sex, Confessions of a Political Junkie is probably my favorite. Just because I remember that election. Because I'm old. And,
You're like 4 years older than me.
yeah, and
Barely.
I have the memory of an elephant, and you have the memory of a peanut.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So,
What about you, Tom? Do you have a favorite book?
Goosebump number 6, Say Cheese and Die.
That's a good one.
No, actually,
Read.
he was talking about, who were you talking about just a second ago? Oh, Hunter S.
Hunter S.
Thompson.
Thompson.
Chuck, I can never pronounce his last name. Chuck Palahniuk.
Yeah.
Guy did Fight Club and like
Mhm.
Survivor and Chuck. I love the stories. They're fucking great.
Okay.
But all-time favorite book though was It. I
It?
read that.
Really?
I read that in 2nd grade, and I still love it. It's not that great of a book,
Mhm.
but it's one of those books I Because I don't read
Fair
very
enough.
much anymore.
And you?
My favorite book, based on how much and how like constantly I read it, The Old Man and the Sea.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I.
Do you want in on this?
That was one of the only books that I've sat and read the entirety of in one sitting, just because I couldn't stop reading it. I just kept reading it.
Well, usually when books are made into movies, they fuck them up.
Yes.
But there is a movie coming out that's based on a book that I guarantee the movie will be better than the book was.
Which one?
Ready Player One. Do you not know?
I might disagree with that.
Dude, there's a chapter in the book that's all about how to play the perfect game of fucking Pac-Man. That's an
Yes.
entire chapter.
Yes. No, I'm not saying that the book is great. I'm saying that the movie's going to be worse.
Really?
Yeah. No, the movie will definitely be worse.
I
I do agree. Ready Player One was really overly hyped.
Yeah, everybody was like, oh, you've got to read this. You
Yeah.
used to be a gamer, you're a writer, you love to read. And I was like, all right, and I went out and bought it. And I read it, like, cover to cover, right through, because everyone, and I kept waiting, like, is it going to get good soon?
It was very late 80s to mid 90s clickbait. And
Yeah.
That's really all it was.
Yeah, it was, okay, if you feel nostalgia towards those decades,
Yeah.
then you'll like this book.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel nostalgia for those decades, and guess what? I thought that fucking book sucked.
Well, it was already like they already made it into a movie, right?
What?
I think it's called Pixels. But yeah, no, that book was really overhyped. I just started. I read the Sandman comic books, but I just started reading my first Neil Gaiman book. Neverwhere. Yeah, and I'm really liking it so far.
No, it's really good.
Well, because H.P. Lovecraft is my favorite writer. I read him constantly.
I'm probably going to fuck up the pronunciation, but you should check out the Anasazi Boys.
Yeah, that's next on my list of his books. And then after that, everyone says to read American Gods, which I will eventually, but it's one of those books that I'm like, I feel like it's not going to be as good as everybody says that it is.
Dude, that's another one that people had told me for years I had to read.
Yeah.
And I read it and I was like, okay, this is... It Cascade, Iowa makes a... Or no, where the hell's House on the Rock?
It's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah.
It's like Platteville, right?
No, it's past Platteville.
It's in,
Between Madison and
Yeah,
Platteville.
but-
It's all roadside attractions being power spots for the gods. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
But House on the Rock makes a prominent appearance.
yeah.
Shout out to House on the Rock.
Woo! What time is it?
10:50.
Okay, I think Randy wants us out by 11.
Oh.
So, because there's nobody there. There's nobody upstairs. Like, he's had a super slow night. So, if you want, we could go to my house and do a post-podcast podcast. Because I'm assuming you're going to stay over, right?
Yeah.
If you want, it's only 3 blocks away. If anyone else wants to.
I'm trying
Jump
to figure
in.
out
I'm gonna go to bed. I'm fucking tired.
how to not get a ticket while parked at your house.
Well, last time you parked.
Because there was snow on the ground.
That is true. So what happened was you parked. I put on the time
Yeah, no, I know
in the
that.
morning. So I woke up at 8 and put on the meter or whatever. So then you wouldn't get a ticket. But what happened was there's a really weird like alignment on the one side. So the little things that you're supposed to park in,
Yeah.
you had pulled up and you were like halfway over one of them. But it doesn't make sense because the car in front, like there's a spot there and then there's like a space where there's no spot and then there's a spot. So you pulled up behind the car thinking that would naturally be where the spot was, but there wasn't a spot there, technically.
Yeah, and I'm worried about that happening again because there's snow on the ground and I'm not going to be able to see the fucking things.
Yeah, which is ridiculous that they did that shit. They get you on the biggest bullshit.
Like, I'm going to have to get out of my car and kick snow aside to try and find the fucking parking brackets.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, I can give you money for putting time on the meter.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not that much. It's a couple bucks.
But yeah, I'm more worried about getting another $15 ticket because I couldn't see the little brackets that you have to park in between.
And then it goes up in like 2 days. Or 8 days or 6 days, whatever.
Yeah.
Doubles.
Oh.
So last 10 minutes, what do you want to talk about? Something juicy for the fans out there.
Something juicy.
Gushers.
Over under on Gushers. What do we got here? Plus
I
200.
remember them being great, but I haven't had them in a really long time.
I have some at my house. Come over. We'll have a Gushers podcast. Sponsored by Gushers. Taste the
Something
Gushers.
really juicy, huh?
Salacious. Something that makes you want to razzmatazz in your pants.
Did you like that bit?
I love that.
I did. It was really
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
All right.
It works.
Because I was trying to figure out how to do it, and I just told Levi before the show, I'm going all When Harry Met Sally.
And that's how you do it.
No, it was great. I thought it worked really well.
Alright, it was.
I loved how it took, like, half the room laughed at the LBJ joke, and then 10 seconds later, the other half of the room laughed at the LBJ joke.
Well, I told you this, but when you said that, I thought you were abbreviating Latin.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a Latin blowjob. And I was like, that's a bit of a stretch. and then I realized you were saying LBJ, and I was like, okay.
I'll still wait until after the show to ask you.
Something juicy.
Got any drama? Any
There's so much
any
drama
rumors?
in LBC.
It's kind of hard being Snoop Deal Double G.
Any church rumors? Those are always the best.
No.
Those moms start talking. And then,
Oh, yeah.
I heard that she was got an abortion. You're like, what? Tell me more about this.
Why are you
hear
talking?
Susan's husband's fucking the babysitter?
Yeah, everybody knew that.
Yes. No, that's the thing about church drama is it's not well maintained. It's very open.
I do love that Louis C.K. bit. Just where he's like this. He's like, what? You know what I'm talking about?
I believe so,
Yeah, he's talking about his 5-year-old, and he's like, 5-year-olds will never tell you anything interesting. She's gonna be like, what? She got an abortion on Christmas Eve? Tell me more.
Yeah.
I thought he was quoting The Happening. What? No. This is juicy.
The Happening. Of all the fucking movies you bring up, The Happening. I only say that because that movie was released on the day I got married.
Wow.
When'd you get married?
That's an amazing.
Did you guys go to the Happening after the wedding?
There we go.
It worked out well because the marriage died much like everyone in the movie did, and the movie itself at the box office.
When you said well, did you throw it
Except
out?
in-
Did you throw it out?
Except in Europe.
Yeah.
They love Shyamalan
Just
in
kidding.
Europe for some reason. I can't figure out why. He makes me more angry than he should.
That's because he doesn't know how to write a movie.
That's true.
He knows how to write a plot twist.
Not really.
With the twist.
Did you watch
What's
The
the
Visit? Where
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
dude, that was fucking hilarious,
Yeah.
man.
What was the movie about the old timey town?
Oh,
The Village.
The Village.
The Village.
I called that within the first 5 minutes.
Everybody
Yeah,
did.
yeah, no, yeah.
Everyone did. That movie. It was so. as soon as the movie started, it's like, oh, it's modern day.
Yeah.
And then you're just watching, waiting for them to say that, oh, it's modern day. And then finally at the end, it's
Split was
like,
really good.
what?
Yeah.
It's...
No, Split was pretty good.
I really enjoyed
haven't
Split.
seen it
It's
It
really
was
good.
It's more.
I heard McAvoy was the only reason why it was good.
He put on a tour de force, dude.
Yeah, he kills it.
Yeah, I heard the movie itself wasn't great, but his
Ryan's like,
performance
I
was
don't know what
great.
you guys are talking about.
No, I'm super lost.
We're talking about them.
Ryan doesn't watch
Shyamalan
movies.
The man,
Shyamalan Ding Dong movies.
I know the reference. Like I know
the man who
enough
massacred Avatar.
I know enough about his like
And not the
movies
blue
where it's
people.
Like,
No.
I
mean,
know
that
the
was a
reference of
massacre too,
Shyamalan
but
and
You know,
I hate that movie.
when I
whenever
first
we
saw it, I was
put
like,
the
this
ending
isn't
first,
bad. And then I
then-
went and actually watched the show. And I'm like,
Oh, you watched the movie before the show?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Well, I didn't
Well-
know what this was. I was like, what is this?
I also hate Avatar. I hated that movie.
Okay,
so
okay,
much.
no. With Avatar, the James Cameron movie,
Yeah.
I saw it in 3D and I thought the experience was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie again. I get about 30 minutes into it. I'm like, this movie sucks.
Yeah, it was
I
the
liked
pre.
it.
Really?
It was like,
Why did
four-
you Why did you like it?
My answer's gonna be really stupid.
Okay.
He likes the color blue.
You see this?
Oh.
That was the biggest fucking tree I've ever seen felled, man. Like, I was calling family members in, like, while I was watching the DVD. I was like, you need to cut those fuckers.
That's funny.
They needed hover
If you guys
copters with missiles to bring that thing down, man.
All right, closing thoughts.
Unobtainium is bullshit.
What?
Titanium?
Unobtainium.
Yeah, no, it is. It definitely is.
Closing thoughts is a packed house tonight.
just
Everyone missed it.
It's a catch-all
Yeah.
for when they want to
I'm sure.
make something really strong in fiction, and they don't want to come up with a clever name.
That's my closing thoughts.
San Dimas High School football rules!
Yeah, it does.
Is that an Eric Andre thing?
Yeah, it does.
No, it's
a
Bill and Ted's
thing,
No.
man. That movie came out before you were born.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right.
All right, thanks for watching the abridged version of the Toddcast podcast. We
Thank you.
might do a little post show action in a bit, and we'll talk about.
can get naked.
We could.
Yeah.
You guys want to see my balls? Tune in tonight. All right.
They're not